Well, you'd think she'd be here by now.
Well, she is the director, darling, and the playwright.
Well, still.
It's strange, isn't it?
Oh, it's plague protocol, my love.
Sorry, everyone. I've just been on the phone with Phil. He can't make it, so I suppose I'll be reading the innkeeper's lines today. Now, is everyone else here? Where's Ida?
I just got a text from her. She's been trying to call you. She said she had to take her cat to the vet.
Honestly, there's no such thing as a small role, but there certainly are small actors.
Does she really need to be here? I mean, she doesn't have any lines.
I suppose not. Well, welcome everyone to the first read-through of Divine Comedy. Now, before we get started...
Honestly, you think that the theater is going to have reopened in time for the one-act play festival next month?
Well, that's the plan.
Yeah, but if they don't?
You'll still get half your fee.
Yes, but...
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have something better to be doing for the next 3 weeks?
No, of course not. I'm very excited.
Right. Now, before we get started, I know some of you have worked together before and know one another, but not everyone does. So let's do a quick go round. Obviously, you all know me. I'm the director and the author.
I'm Frank, and I just want to say how lovely it is to be working with some of you again.
And you're playing?
All right, I'm playing Shakespeare.
Well, I'm Jane, and I'm playing Anne Hathaway. And I think it's wonderful that someone is finally given her credit for the important role she played in the bard's life. It's about time.
Mary, and I'm Queen Elizabeth, a role I must say I was born to play.
Didn't you play her in a panto a few years ago?
Yes, darling. And I just about brought the house down, as anyone who saw the show knows.
You did actually, sweetie, and my kids loved that show.
Thank you.
Right, I'm Mick, and I'm playing Thomas Brend, manager of the Globe Theatre. A role, I might add, I intend to have a great deal of fun with.
Well, I'm Harry, and I'm playing the Earl of Essex, the love of the lovely Elizabeth's life.
I'm Peter, and I'm the Bishop of London. One of those small but ever so delightful roles. God's holy trousers. Such fun.
That's my line.
I know. Good, isn't it?
Oh, yes, I'm Dean, and I'm sure that has nothing to do with me being cast as the Dean of London, right?
Right. Now, shall we get on?
Before we do...
Yes.
Well, I was just wondering, the credit inspired by Richard Griffiths?
Yes.
Who's Richard Griffiths?
Seriously?
You must have seen the History Boys.
Oh, yes, darling. Absolute tour de force. Bennett must have had him in mind when he wrote the role.
Yeah, he played Harry Potter's uncle.
Oh, him.
Oh, for God's sake, he had a huge body of work.
Yeah, well, he certainly had a huge body, didn't he?
It's like poor Alan Rickman being remembered only as Snape.
Or Aunt Gruber.
Or Alec Guinness, only remembered as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
As if no one ever saw Bridge on the River Kwai.
Or Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Well, poor old Chris Plummer. He knew The Sound of Bloody Music was going to be the first thing on his obituary.
And he was right.
Or...
Richard was a very dear friend of mine. Excuse me. We came up with the idea for the play in the pub one night.
It was a very taboo subject. And oh, yes, darling, I was wondering how you came up with it.
Yeah, Shakespeare's long-lost play. Brilliant idea.
Well, you know, Richard and I were just talking, and it struck us as odd that with everything else he wrote, Shakespeare never tackled religion. I mean, it was such a big subject in his day.
A very taboo subject.
Well, that's rather the point, isn't it, darling? Now, if we could get on. Okay, I'll read the scene intros and the stage directions and the innkeeper's lines.
And the maid.
Oh, she doesn't have any lines.
All right.
Is everyone ready? Lights up on scene 1, the office of Thomas Brand, manager of the Globe Theatre.
Are you trying to give me an ulcer or something, Shakespeare? Heartburn ain't bad enough for you?
What do you mean, Tom?
Listen, Will, I ever steer you wrong? Romans, pageants, that's what the theater goers like. They eat the stuff up. This play of yours, what's it called?
A Divine Comedy.
Yeah, Divine Comedy. It's way off beam. Randy archbishops? Hey, it ain't even some Catholic archbishop. It's a goddamn Church of England archbishop. If you're seriously suggesting I should stage a play where some Randy archbishop is keeping a goddamn brothel, no way, pal. Life's tough enough already.
But it's all true, Tom. Anyone will tell you he was a reprobate.
You're killing me, Will. You want true? Write about the plague or the goddamn Inquisition. See how far that gets you. No one wants to know. Romans, that's what the people like. I've been trying to tell you that for years. Hey, look at how good you did with Cleo and Julie and what's his name, Coral Zanus or whatever you called him.
I am fatigued by the Romans.
Okay, so you want to do a comedy? Hey, what about those fairies running around the forest on Christmas Eve or whatever it was? Or that Italian guy sorting out the rich bitch. Now there's a sort of sex comedy your average punter likes. Archbishops getting turned on by nuns? Forget it.
Do I understand? You are declining to vouchsafe the staging of this thespian endeavor.
Huh?
Are you refusing to stage a Divine Comedy at the Globe?
Hey, speak English, will you? You're just as bad as your plays. If you're asking if I'm going to put on this play, the answer is no. I got my livelihood to think about. You want my theater to close? You want the church to put me out of business? I got nothing against the church, and they got nothing much against me. And I want to keep it that way.
Then I shall be forced to take the play elsewhere.
Yeah, take it wherever you like. Just get it out of my sight. But believe me, pal, no one else is going to want to touch this one. Not Phil Henslow at the Rose, not Hal Lenham at the Curtain, nobody. Hey, maybe you could open out in the Shire somewhere, but it'll ruin you. This play's poison. You're a hot property, Will. You really want to blow it on this lot? Take my advice. Throw it away. Go home. Write about the Romans. Hey, you could do a Randy Caesar. They've been dead centuries. You can say what you like about them. You could even get away with another doolally Dane. But ditch the Archbishop, trust me.
Is that your final decision?
Yeah, it bloody well is.
I feel very strongly about this play. If you refuse to stage it, you may consider my working relationship with the Globe Theatre terminated.
Hey, listen, pal. If this play ever gets on the boards, you'll be terminated.
Good day, sir.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 2, Shakespeare's home. Anne enters. The sound of a door slamming. Will enters.
Well,
Well, what, madam?
how much did you get for the play?
Nothing.
Well, when is he going to pay you? We have debts all over town, Will.
I know about our debts, madam. There would not be so many of them if you were able to manage the household finances more efficiently.
Don't you start all that again, Will. You're the one who says we've got to keep up with the Bacons. They have a cook and a maid and a footman, and all we have is one dim-witted girl fit for nothing. And you won't let me replace her.
She's perfectly serviceable.
Serviceable, indeed. Now, when are we likely to see some money from this play of yours?
I fear this one may not pay as well as the others.
And why not, pray tell? I thought you said this play was something special. I thought you said it was time for a contemporary religious comedy. I thought you said
A divine comedy is without doubt the best play I have ever written. However, Master Brend feels it might offend certain parties.
And what did I tell you? Not that you ever listened to me, of course. Did I not tell you that you would not be able to sell a play which makes the church look bad? Well, I suppose you'd better write another play. You have plenty of time. Dinner will not be ready for an hour.
I have no intention of writing another play. I intend to see this play staged, even if it necessitates financing it myself.
Are you mad? We will end up in the tower.
And what, pray tell, is so terrible about that? Even the Queen has been incarcerated in the tower.
She has rather more influence than we do. We would never get out. I know I said I wanted to move to a bigger place, but that is not what I had in mind.
There is the sound of a knock on the door.
See who it is at the door, madam.
Anne exits. Shakespeare paces until she returns.
It is for you. It is the Dean of London.
We'll show him in.
Anne exits, returns with the Dean.
Master Shakespeare! Oh, what a pleasure! I have long been an admirer of your work.
I am flattered, your worship. Madam, do you not need to attend to this evening's repast?
Not at the moment.
I am convinced I smell burning and would be most grateful if you would investigate.
Oh, very well.
Anne exits. Sound of door slamming.
Which of my humble efforts appealed to your worship?
Oh, my, dear me. There are so many to choose from. They're not. Oh, and all so excellent.
You were too kind, but was there not one which you enjoyed more than the others?
Well, let me see. Oh, I did so enjoy the Roman plays. I find history so interesting, don't you?
I do indeed, your worship, although I confess I am currently more intrigued by recent history.
Yes, indeed. Oddly enough, I was taking tea with my good friend Thomas Brend today. Oh, what an amusing man. He told me you've written a new play of a somewhat ecclesiastical bent. Is that so?
Yes, your worship.
Oh, I would so enjoy reading it. Do you think that would be possible?
Certainly, your worship. I have a copy here, if you would care to peruse it.
We'll hand sheets of paper to Dean, who rifles through them.
Oh, my. Such a long play. Might it be possible for me to take it away and read it at my leisure?
Oh, by all means.
Oh, so kind of you. Now, I will take good care of it. I mean, this is your only copy.
No, there are others.
Oh, what a pity. I mean, what a pity I cannot stay any longer and continue our little chat. But I will see you again soon. So nice to meet you.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 3, the garden of the Bishop of London's palace. Sound of birds chirping. The bishop sits on a bench with the manuscript in his hands. The dean stands beside him.
Oh, is it really so bad, Your Grace?
Bad? God's holy teeth, man. One of the leaders of the Church of England portrayed as a drunken lecher, and you ask if it is bad?
Well, by all accounts, he wasn't he? I mean, I've personally heard many tales of how he used
Never mind what you have heard.
Yes.
Listen to this. I had rather be a kitten and cry mew than one of these same meter ballet mongers.
Ooh.
More after my heart are they whose sweet passion exchange with their lively tongues.
Oh, my.
Can't have archbishops saying things like that.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Take this
Yes.
play back to Master Shakespeare
Mhm.
and tell him it is a travesty.
Yes.
The church will not tolerate an archbishop being portrayed in such a disgusting light.
No, years.
Convince him that it is in his own best interest to drop this matter entirely.
Yes, sure is.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 4, Shakespeare's home. Will is standing at a desk with a quill in his hand.
Now is the summer. No. Now is the autumn. No. Now is the winter of our.
Sound of a knock on the door.
Oh, blast it. Enter.
Dean enters.
Well, Master Shakespeare, here I am again. Good day to you, sir.
Good day, your worship. I see you have my play with you. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, my, it certainly was, well, interesting. It was, oh, how can I put it? Quite thought-provoking, yes?
I am so glad you feel that way. It is exactly the reaction I had hoped for.
Yes. Well, the thing is, I have discussed this play with the bishop, and well, he does agree that it is extremely thought-provoking, but he tends to feel that, well, some thoughts ought to remain unprovoked. You know how it is.
Regrettably, I do not, your worship. Pray expand.
Well, the bishop feels that, well, this particular story to be somewhat detrimental to the church's image, what?
I am sorry to hear that. Are my observations about the Archbishop so wildly inaccurate?
Yes, well, as to that, I'm really not in a position to say, really. I mean, he was somewhat before my time. Now, I have heard tales of how he, yes, well, that's neither here nor there. The thing is, as our friend Thomas would say, this play is rather bad for business, don't you know? You know what people are like. I mean, they can be somewhat of a problem. I mean, some of them actually resent giving the church most of the money the Queen doesn't take. If they were to believe this fanciful little work of yours, well, there could even be an uprising. Now, you wouldn't want that, would you?
Your worship, I am neither a politician nor a man of the cloth. I am a playwright, a simple storyteller. And this, I truly believe, is a story well worth telling.
Well, Thomas Brent does not, I believe, share your opinion.
Alas, he does not, nor do any other theater managers. But if needs must, I shall finance the production myself.
Master Shakespeare, I implore you to reconsider.
My mind is made up, your worship.
Well, then, I must regret to say that this matter is out of my hands. Good day to you, sir.
Dean exits.
I shall not be swayed by these humorless men of God. This is my best work, and I shall see it performed.
Anne enters.
Well, I've just seen the dean. He did not look pleased. What have you said to him?
He came to inform me that the Bishop of London feels my play constitutes a thought which should remain unprovoked.
And I suppose you provoked him.
Madam, I will not be muzzled by the church or anyone.
Are you mad, sir? You cannot simply defy the wishes of the Bishop of London for the sake of some ridiculous play.
Divine Comedy is not a ridiculous play.
I hope you will still feel that way when they throw you into the tower.
No one is going to throw me into the tower.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 5, the garden of the Bishop of London's palace, where the bishop is strolling with the Earl of Essex.
I think that we may have to throw him into the tower, my Lord Essex.
Oh, surely it need not go that far.
This playwright is a stubborn character. A few weeks in the tower may cool him off. I am sorry to involve you in this sordid situation, but you will appreciate, from what I have told you, that this play cannot be performed.
I agree, Your Grace. Most unsuitable. I shall visit Master Shakespeare and attempt to dissuade him.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 6, Shakespeare's home, Anne sits on a chair doing embroidery. There is a knock on the door. Maid enters, followed by Essex.
Mistress Shakespeare.
Maid exits.
I am indeed, sir.
I am the Earl of Essex. I would like to see your husband.
Oh, dear, I fear he's not here at the moment, my lord, but he should be home soon. Do come in and wait. I'm sorry the house is in such a state. So difficult to get decent servants these days. I'm a martyr to my household staff. Do sit down. I will ring for some tea.
Anne picks up bell, rings.
You would like some tea, wouldn't you? Of course.
Maid enters.
Where have you been, you stupid girl? Bring some tea at once, and some cakes.
Maid exits.
Well, my lord, this is indeed an honor.
For me as well, madam. Your husband's reputation as a playwright has spread throughout the land. It is fascinating to see the house in which this genius works, and such a charming house. Meeting you also explains where he finds the inspiration for his heroines.
Oh, my lord, you are too kind.
Maid returns with tray containing silver teapot, cups, and a plate of cakes. She places tray on table, exits.
I believe your husband has recently completed another play. Something about the church. A new theme for him, surely.
Oh, that. Have a rock cake. Fresh baked this morning.
Essex picks up cake, takes a bite.
Delicious. Now about this play.
Don't blame me. I warned him. I said, Will, stick with the Romans. But of course, he never listens to me. I told him, I said, Will, we'll both be thrown in the tower if you don't put an end to this religious mania of yours.
Oh, I do not think it will come to that, Mistress Shakespeare. Your husband is an intelligent man. I am sure he will listen to reason.
Sound of a door opening and closing. Will enters.
Oh, Will, such an honor. Look who's here. The Earl of Essex.
An honor indeed, my lord. What brings you to my humble home?
He wants to talk to you about that bloody play.
Thank you, madam. You may leave us now.
And exits.
Master Shakespeare, it is a pleasure to meet you at last.
The pleasure is mine, lord.
Quite so. Now, about this play of yours, this Divine Comedy, it won't do, you know. It won't do at all. We cannot have this sort of thing performed.
I am sorry to hear you say so, my lord.
Look, Shakespeare, may I call you Will? Oh, thank you. Now, see here, Will, all things considered, you've got a pretty good thing going here. You've got some money, which is more than most people can say. You've got a nice house, a nice little wife. Well, she seems very loyal. Anyway, you've got a lot to be thankful for. So why rock the galleon? Believe me, Will, nobody is trying to thwart you. It's just that this play is not going to do anyone any good, not even you. All right, the church takes a knocking and you say all to the good. And maybe you're right. Maybe the church is corrupt. But what good does it do? Think about the people. They need to believe in the church. They don't have much, you know. Poor beggars.
And what little the treasury doesn't take from them, the church does.
What? Oh, well, that's life, isn't it? You cannot have people worshipping in mud huts, and you cannot have men of God living in hovels. Wouldn't be right, would it? And someone has to pay for the upkeep of these buildings, not to mention the rates which are crippling. Of course, Her Majesty would like to pay all the costs of the church for herself, but she needs the money for the army and the navy.
And all her palaces?
Oh, see here, Shakespeare, you're not suggesting the church, the Queen of England, should live in mud huts, are you?
No, my lord. I am simply suggesting that the people should know the truth about their church.
Oh, damn it, man. The people don't want to know the truth about the church.
With respect, my lord, I disagree.
With respect, Master Shakespeare, it is not up to you to decide. Now, listen to me, man. I am attempting to be cordial about this. Do not try my patience. I suggest you heed your good lady, who seems to have grasped the situation far better than you.
My lord, you have not read the play. It is an affectionate look at a man of the world who is also a man of the cloth. I am sure you would not find it offensive. Would you care to have a look at it?
Will hands manuscript to Essex, who skims through it.
"3 times had this wanton made head to warm her cockles and stir the ember of my thrice 10 years dormant member, to raise power and heat in juicy thrust, at merest fondle of her Sicilian crest, miracle magicking in ecclesiastical breast." God's holy trousers, man. You cannot say things like that. It's ridiculous.
No, my lord, it is the way I write. I find the rhymes most effective.
I'm not talking about the rhymes, you clod. Warm the cockles and stir the ember of my thrice 10 years dormant member. You cannot have archbishops saying such things.
A nice turn of phrase, I thought.
It's blasphemous, that's what it is.
Oh, surely not, my lord. You have taken it out of context. Perhaps you would care to take the play away and peruse it at your leisure.
Oh, that I shall. How many copies are there?
Enough.
Oh, well, rest assured, Master Shakespeare, you shall hear more of this.
I look forward to hearing your views, my lord.
Good day, sir.
Will leads Essex out. Lights down. Lights up on scene 7, the Queen's chambers. Elizabeth enters, reading the manuscript. She is followed by Essex. Elizabeth?
Oh, bloody hell, I think she's fallen asleep again. Oh, Mary, wake up.
Oh, I'm so sorry, darlings. Bit of a night last night. Oh, where are we?
Scene 7, your entrance.
Page?
16, Mary.
Oh, so sorry.
Right, let's try this again. Lights up on scene 7, the Queen's chambers. Elizabeth enters, reading the manuscript. She is followed by Essex.
Oh, this piss pot of an archbishop errs ever from the straight and narrow, and yet is not one particle as crooked as I would have him. For I'll warrant you, he hath earned more fame from his prick than from his crook. You must agree, Robin, it is an amusing play.
Hardly for public consumption, Your Majesty.
Oh, hardly that. You say Master Shakespeare is quite determined to stage the play?
I suspect, ma'am, the wretched man is some sort of free thinker, a very dangerous type. We will have to deal with him most severely.
Oh, I'm sure. We need not go that far.
They exit. Lights down. Lights up on scene 8, the office of Thomas Brand. Thomas is sitting at his desk. Essex enters.
Nice to meet you, Earl. What can I do for you? Not interested in backing a play, are you? I got a hot one lined up. Dido of Carthage by Marlowe and Nash. Hey, boy, oh boy, she was some dame. Hey.
I'm sure it is an excellent play, Master Brand, but I am here to see you about William Shakespeare.
Oh, him. A great guy, Will. Lots of talent. But I think he's losing his grip. Got a touch of religious mania, know what I mean? Bishops on the brain. Now, John Q. Public don't give a shit about bishops. He likes Romans and Greeks. I've been trying to tell that to Will for years, but he won't listen. If he doesn't watch out, he's going to get into real trouble. Take it from me. Hey, now about this Dido of Carthage thing. He's got everything. Sex, violence, the lot.
I would like to arrange a meeting with Master Shakespeare.
You want to meet him? Hey, that's easy. He lives in his house just down the street.
I know where he lives, Master Brand. I want you to arrange a meeting somewhere else.
Hey, sure thing, Earl. But it's really not that far to his house. You could just go down.
I want Master Shakespeare to be at the Bull and Bush in Southwark at 9 o'clock tonight.
Hey, listen, Earl. What's this all about? If the guy's in trouble, I'd like to know about it.
There are some things it is best not to know.
Sure. I get you. Hey, nice suit, by the way. Who's your tailor?
Oh, you like it?
Like it? I love it. Beautiful material, beautiful finishing. Hey, but then again, you got the figure for it. Me, I find getting a decent fit.
Master Brand, I am not interested in your sartorial shortcomings. I want you to ensure that William Shakespeare is at the Bull and Bush at 9 o'clock. I can assure you, if you fail me, there will be consequences.
Consequences?
Dire consequences.
9 o'clock, Bull and Bush, you'll be there.
I knew you were a reasonable man, Master Brand.
Think nothing of it. Hey, who should he ask for?
Just tell him he is expected.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 9, Shakespeare's home. Will is at his desk. Tom enters.
So listen, Will, you found a backer for that play of yours yet?
Would that it were otherwise, but verily I have not.
Huh?
No, Tom, I have not found a backer.
See, ain't it easier when you speak English?
If you say so, Tom.
I do. Now listen, you know I think that play of yours is bad news. But I heard there's a certain someone who's very interested in the thing. Now, all I want is a promise that if you ever get this religious thing out of your system, you'll go back to writing about the Romans, or at least stick to kings, dead kings.
Tom, what a stout fellow you are.
Hey, enough with the stout stuff already, if you don't mind. Now you got a promise.
I promise, Tom, I promise. My word of honor.
Okay, all I know is if you go to the Bull and Bush in Southwark tonight at 9 o'clock, you'll meet a certain someone who's very interested in your play.
Who, Tom? Who is my patron?
Hey, I ain't allowed to tell you. He wants to remain monotonous, know what I mean? Let's just say he's a rich guy who wants to be a silent partner in a theatrical venture.
A member of the aristocracy?
Hey, I ain't saying.
Hellfire and damnation. That ass Essex has the only copy of the play.
Don't worry about it. This guy knows the story.
For whom should I ask?
Just tell him who you are. You're expected.
I must make haste if I'm to be there by 9 o'clock. Oh, Tom, you are a friend indeed.
Will exit in a rush.
Oh, sometimes showbiz really sucks.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 10, the Bull and Bush. The innkeeper stands by the bar polishing a pewter mug.
Aren't you reading The Innkeeper?
Oh, right. Why don't you do it?
Oh, okay.
Oi, hey, it's a male role?
It doesn't have to be. The innkeeper could be a woman.
Yeah, well, it's written for a man.
But could be played by a woman. So let's.
I
The
never
in-
break.
The innkeeper's wife stands behind the bar polishing a pewter mug. Will enters.
Yes, sir. What can I get for you? Glass of mead, yard of ale. What's your pleasure?
Bit less of a Dick Van Dyke, if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Yes, sir. What can I get for you? Glass of mead, yard of ale. What's your pleasure?
I want no refreshment, landlord. Shouldn't that be landlady?
Just read the lines.
Right. I want no refreshment, landlord. I have come to meet someone.
Oh, yes. Well, I don't want to ruin your day, Squire, but this is an inn, not a waiting room. The only waiting that gets done around here is by me when I wait on you. So if you don't want to drink, up it.
I am William Shakespeare.
Shakespeare, eh? Oh, why didn't you say so, Squire? You're expected. You want the back room, through those curtains.
Thank you, my good man. Woman.
Oh, for God's sake.
You sure you don't want to drink before you go back there?
Thank you, no.
Suit yourself, Squire.
Lights down. Lights up on scene 11, the back room of the Bull and Bush. The room is illuminated only by the light from the fire. Elizabeth is sitting on a chair by the fireplace. Will enters, looks around, spots Elizabeth, and gasps. Now all we need is Mary. Mary, are you there, darling?
Yeah, I'm
Wake
here.
up.
I'm here.
Okay. Okay, Elizabeth is sitting by the fireplace. Will enters, looks around, spots Elizabeth, and gasps.
Oh my God!
No, Master Shakespeare, just your monarch.
Your Majesty, what can I say?
Don't worry, Master Shakespeare. I understand. We monarchs are an awe-inspiring lot, are we not? Do sit down. I wish to discuss your play with you.
She points to the second chair. He sits.
Tell me, did you ever meet the Archbishop?
No, Mum.
Well, you have painted a remarkably accurate picture of him. Although personally, I felt it could have gone further. He was a singularly unpleasant man, a quite disgusting lecher. He had a go at me once. I kicked him so hard he couldn't stand up straight for a week. But I think you've caught him wonderfully in the description by the Duke of Norfolk. Now, where is it? Oh, yes. Here we are. I do not care. I'll give thrice so much land to any well-deserving friend who brings me news of the Archbishop and his licentious ways. I'll not cavil on the 9th part of a hair, so that he spy out the scheme of his affairs, and where he lays on hands, and in whose domain and appendages to base appetite, exploring the secret corporeal empire of pimps and whores and harlot boys, treated one and all as carnal toys. Yes, that was the Archbishop. He was quite an explorer.
You liked the play, Mum.
Master Shakespeare, we're at war with the bloody Spanish. Very little amuses me these days. The treasury is nearly empty. But one thing did amuse me. It was your play.
I am overwhelmed, Your Majesty. Could you be my backer?
Oh, I hardly think so, Master Shakespeare.
Then what? Then why am I here, Mum?
You are here, Master Shakespeare, because my Lord Essex is hell-bent on relocating you to the Tower. I was domiciled there myself, back in the days when the Archbishop thought he could lay hands on me. And I assure you, it is not a place you would wish to reside. I'm told you're determined to stage this play. That would not be at all advisable. As I pointed out, we're at war with Spain, and those damned Dacos would have the country overrun by incense burners again. You do not want that, do you?
Of course not, Mum.
Then why in heaven's name are you playing right into their hands? Can you not see what damage this play of yours could do?
But Mum, the man has been dead these 25 years. What possible damage could it do?
Come, Master Shakespeare. You cannot be so naive. Was it not you coined the phrase, tarred by the same brush? No? Oh, it must have been that Marlowe fellow then. No matter. The point is, if one of the heads of the Church of England was corrupt and lecherous, it will naturally follow in the minds of many that all heads of the church are tarred by the same brush. Will it not?
Well, in fairness, Mum, they are.
All of them?
So I am led to believe, Mum.
You fail to grasp the point, Master Shakespeare. Who is the head of the Church of England?
The Archbishop of Canterbury.
Think again, Master Shakespeare.
Oh, well, of course, you are, Mum.
Precisely. Now, are you suggesting, for example, that my sobriquet, the Virgin Queen, is a misnomer?
Oh, no, Mum.
So?
Oh, Mum, I cannot, what can I
Master Shakespeare, where are the other copies of your play?
This is the only one, Mum.
You told my Lord Essex otherwise.
I thought it the best way of ensuring the play's safe return. If there were other copies, there would be no point in destroying this one.
Master Shakespeare, the fire is getting low, is it not?
Yes, Mum.
Brief pause before Will throws the manuscript on the fire.
Better the play than the playwright, eh?
Lights down. Lights up on scene 12, Thomas Brendan's office. Brend is flicking through the pages of a manuscript.
You gotta be kidding me, right? First you bring me a randy archbishop, and now this? A goddamn hunchback? What happened to the Romans?
I have already told you, Tom, the Romans fatigue me. You asked for a dead king. I have given you a dead king.
Yeah, but well, why does he have to be a goddamn hunchback?
Because he was. I do not understand your misgivings, Tom. You have always told me all a play needs is sex and violence. Well, Richard III has an abundance of both, more than any of my Roman plays.
Look, Will, I've been thinking. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Romans have had their day. What we need now is something different. Maybe this ain't so bad. Hey, I tell you what, stick in some songs, we'll make it a musical.
The girls today in society go for classical poetry. So to win their hearts, you must quote.
Great read through, everyone. See you tomorrow.
What people call the Bard of Stratford-on-Avon. Brush up your Shakespeare. Stop quoting him now. Brush up your Shakespeare, and the women you will wow. Just declaim a few lines from Othello, and they'll think you're a heck of a